If you look closely, you'll see there are a number of pollinators on this one plant within this garden planted next to Holy Family School in Green Bay. Let's find out more about what it takes to keep these pollinators thriving in the middle of a city. Deacon Dan teaches theology to middle school students at Holy Family School. He's taken his passion for gardening and nature and teamed up with faculty and students to create a pollinator garden on the parish grounds.
Well, this began after we as a class a few years ago read Pope Francis's book on Care for a Common Home. And the kids, as they read the book and we went through it, they talked about the fact that our school grounds here really only had one kind of habitat on it. Really was a desert with just lawn. And is there something that we could do on this scale at our school to support the continuation of our planet, the health of our planet, particularly of pollinators, the insects that pollinate our crops and so forth. So the idea for this garden came up. It took us a few years to really establish what we were going to do. We worked in partnership. It wasn't just the school. We worked in partnership with the parish and the buildings and grounds people. We got support from Pheasants Forever. We went to them and asked if they would be interested in doing this with me. And that first class that read this book had raised money that they decided to earmark for this garden here. So it really was established as a place of learning, a place of understanding, a place of prayer. We know that it is being used by all grade levels and by all disciplines are using this prairie garden right now, or this pollinator garden at this point. This is specifically identified as a pollinator garden because of the species, the types of plants that were put in here. Now, the plants that are in here are all native to Wisconsin and to this area, but they are plants that particularly attract insects and birds that spread pollen to other plants. Pollinating is necessary for plants to continue to grow, to continue to reproduce. It's necessary for our food growing. Certainly we hear about pollinators in apples and other fruits and vegetables, okay? So this garden here is something that attracts the pollinators. It gives them a place to establish themselves, lay their eggs. Some of them pupate here and feed here. And it's also a resting point. During the time that just prior to filming, there were 3 monarchs around here. And the monarchs are kind of in the midst of their migration right now. So this is a spot where they will come and they will rest. It's really become a monarch wayside. It also is a jumping point in what's known as the pollinator corridor in Green Bay. So we are just a little ways away from Colburn Park. And so we know that there's some pollinators that are endangered that have been established, that are established in Colburn Park. And we are now hoping that those pollinators will come to here and broaden out then their territory. The ultimate goal is that this corridor is established and actually makes it all the way out to the botanical gardens. This is a very low maintenance landscape. The plants in here are very drought tolerant, meaning once they're established, some of these will have roots that are 2, 3, 4 feet long. Okay, they can tolerate our hot July summers. They can tolerate the dryness, where our lawns maybe will need some water to keep going, and some of our other flowers will need that. These guys here can tolerate the drought. They're adapted to dry conditions. So you can have color, less maintenance, less need for pesticides, for fertilizers, and so forth. And it really is something, yes, definitely, even on some of the smallest yards, you can take a portion of your yard and create this. One of the things when we were planning this garden is it needed to be sustainable. It needed to have a future that went beyond me, went beyond our current science teacher and current theology teachers here. So what we determined in talking to our principal and Grace leadership is that this is a role that will pass on to whoever teaches theology after me and whoever teaches science down the line. We also have established a partnership with the parish here on the grounds, and really are actively recruiting people from the parish to come and help and be a part of this garden. We've had volunteers coming in and doing a little weeding for us. Certainly, if anyone is willing to volunteer, we will accept their help, and be willing to show them some of the things that we can do. Ultimately, our goal is that this prairie garden be here when my granddaughter, who is now in 4K, graduates from 8th grade.